Okay. So we will do the prayer related to the text first. So we will chant the prayer. Vasudevendra Yogindram Nattva Jnanapradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattva Bodo Vidhiyate. So that is the prayer for the text. For each text we start with the prayer. So when we start the text each day, we will chant the prayer to enable us to understand what is being said. We need God's grace. So last class we completed the first part of the text, which is about the 4 qualifications required to attain self-knowledge. The 4 D's. Desire starts with discrimination, dispassion, discipline consisting of the 6 different qualities we should have, and of course the major factor is the desire. So first is the desire to know, then only the other D's can be added. So having completed that, the next one is to, because this is a study of the self, the next we should know, we have to go into the study of the self. So we just started the first verse in Tattva Viveka, which is the discrimination of the truth. And the first verse said, Atman is Satyam, everything else is Mithya. So we got 2 new words, Satyam and Mithya. Satyam is what is the absolute truth. Mithya is what seemingly looks like true, but it is not.
Once again, Swami, Jayanti, can you just put the mic on?
So, what is ultimate truth is Satyam. So it says Atma is Satyam. All the other things are Mithya. And Mithya we defined as something which at this moment looks real, but it can be negated. So there are many things we can look at. We have, I think I had explained the example of a movie where, as far as the movie is concerned, only the screen is real. All the other things are Mithya. Even in our regular things we can see, for example, we say moonlight. We accept the term moonlight. But we also know that the moon doesn't have light. It is only reflecting. So the truth of that light is only the sun which is reflecting. The moon is only a dependent. So whichever is dependent on some other thing for its existence is called Mithya. So this is what, even for example, another example we can give is sunrise and sunset. So if I say sun rises in the east and sets in the west, yes, absolutely true. Nobody can deny that. But we also know that the sun does not rise or set. There is nothing called a sunrise or a sunset, because it's only the earth going around the sun, and at certain times the sun appears on the east, and during its movement it goes to the west. So again, it is something which explains this concept of what is seemingly true. You cannot deny. At this moment it is true. When you go to the beach here, you see the sun rising. Yes, the sun is rising, it's on the east. And when you go to the west and you say, okay, sun is setting, it's real. At that moment it's real, but we also know from science that it is not so. So that is what Mithya can broadly be explained. But the text started with a very explosive statement that Atma is Satyam, rest is all Mithya. So then we have to unfold what is Atma, because having said that, it is difficult for us to accept this. Because how can you say everything else is not true? So what is this Atma which is true and everything else is not true? And again, one of the qualities discussed in the first section, Shraddha, is very important. Because unless we have Shraddha, we cannot take this statement without a bit of a problem. If it is me saying this statement on my own, then you can say, what are you talking about? How can you say everything is not true? But since it is the Shastra saying, I am just conveying what the Shastra says, we need to have Shraddha. Oh, Shastra is saying something, it could be true. So let us first explore, because we cannot dismiss something. If we dismiss the Shastras itself, there is no need to proceed further, because the whole basis is based on the acceptance of Shastra as a prominent medium of understanding. So now, having said Atma is Satyam and rest all are Mithya, let us now understand the next logical question is, what is Atma? So that is what the next question is. Atma kaha? What is Atma? Now there is a very seemingly lengthy explanation of this. We will break it down further. Sthula Sukshma Karana Sharira Dvaya Tiriktaha Panchakosho Koshatitaha Sannavastra Traya Sakshi Satchidananda Swarupaha San Yastishtati Sa Atma. So at this moment it sounds very complicated. What is this lengthy explanation about Atma? How can we understand this? Don't worry, it is going to be further broken down into different components for easy understanding. So direct definition is the one who is distinct from the gross, subtle and causal bodies, which is beyond the five sheaths and is the witness to the three states of experiencing. So this is the definition, and is the very nature of existence, consciousness is Atma, Satchidananda Swarupa, and happiness. Existence, consciousness and happiness. It is the very nature of this. So, first we need to, the author or the Shastras through the author have defined Atma, taking into example certain things which are not Atma. So into the question already there is a built-in question, what is not Atma? Let us call it as Anatma. Opposite of Atma is Anatma. So first it says what is not Atma. It starts with what is not Atma, and then finally it defines the nature of Atma. Now among these things there are three sets of things which are mentioned. One is called as the Sharira Trayam. So Atma is distinct. It is not these three bodies, which is the Sthula Shariram or the physical body, Sukshma Shariram, which is the subtle body, and Karana Shariram, which is the causal body. Anyway, each of this will be explained. So that is the very method of teaching. So first, it is like when you hear the news, they tell all the headlines first, and then they elaborate, this happened. So how did this happen? They will elaborate further. So similarly, it makes a statement and then it elaborates each one specifically so that we can understand better. So Atma is distinct, or it is not the three bodies. So first of all, Sukshma Sharira means this physical body. So that is something which is not Atma. So that itself will be a little shocking for us, because we all consider this body as everything. So when we say body itself is not Atma, the first question is how can that be? So, but at least we know what is the body. Sukshma Sharira means the gross body. We are not very familiar with the other two bodies mentioned, the Sukshma Sharira and the Karana Sharira. The subtle body and the causal body. We might have come across these terms, but most of us may not be even aware of the existence of such things, which will be elaborated again. So we don't have to really at this moment worry, what is this? Because the text itself is going to further, each one separately it is going to enumerate. So first it talks about it is distinct from the three bodies. Then the next it takes the 5 koshas, as they are called, 5 sheaths, or you can say the 5 levels of human experience, you can say. So these sheaths are called as koshas, and there are 5 such koshas, 5 sheaths. The names will be given later. They are not, unlike the 3 bodies have been mentioned here with names, but the 5 koshas have not been named, but we will just name them to begin with. So the 5 koshas are Annamaya kosha. The next kosha is called Pranamaya kosha. The third kosha is called Manomaya kosha. The 4th kosha is called as the Vijnanamaya kosha. And the final kosha or sheath is called as the Anandamaya kosha. So it says Atma is beyond these 5 koshas. So we will again want to know what are these koshas and how the Atma is beyond that. So each of them again we will be taking up in detail. And then it says it is the witness to the 3 states. Avastha Trayam, as we call it, the 3 states. One is the waking state, as we are now. The next one is the dream state. And the third one is the deep sleep state. So Atma is the witness to all three states. Like Jayanti asked last time also, in deep state, deep sleep, what state we are in. The Atma is the witness to that. That is why when we wake up, we say, I had a good sleep. Though you are not available, your mind was not available during that, it is because of the Atma that you are aware that you are in deep sleep. So these are the 3 states, and all these states, the witness is the Atma. So there are 11 elements in this. The 3 bodies, the 5 koshas and the 3 states. So all these 11 elements are not Atma. They are all, we can call them as Anatma, the opposite of Atma. Then the last part of the verse explains the nature of Atma, which is Satchidananda Swarupa. So Satchidananda means Sat, Chit and Ananda. So it is the very embodiment of Sat is existence, Chit is consciousness, and Ananda is happiness. So it is the very embodiment of existence, consciousness and happiness. So this is how Atma has been defined, which again will be elaborated further when each one is explained separately. So we need to first, so the whole process used by the Shastras is to negate. So we negate whatever is not Atma, and finally what will be left is Atma. So it's a particular way of teaching. It's called Neti Neti, which means negating. This is not that, this is not that. So we eliminate whatever is not Atma, so that ultimately we can see what is Atma. And these elements are the 11 elements. If we negate all this, the Atma will be evident. So that is what this verse says. So it just gives again a broad understanding of what is Anatma and what is Atma. Now obviously now we will be going into each of the other, whatever is mentioned, one by one. The 11 elements we are going to understand in detail. So let us start with the first, which is the Sthula Sharira. So we will read what the text says. Sthula Shariram Kim? That is the question. What is Sthula Shariram? So the answer is Panchakrita Pancha Mahabhutai Kritam Satkarma Janyam Sukha Dukkadi Bhogayatanam Shariramasti Jayate Vardate Viparinamata Apakshiyate Vinashyatiti Shada Vikara Vadetastha Sthula Shariram. Again, it's a very descriptive analysis of the Sthula Sharira, or in other words, the physical body. Sthulam basically means gross. Gross is something which is visible to you. Sukshma is something, so the mind is Sukshma, it is not visible. Sthulam is gross. So we can see our body, we can see all the other bodies also, and anything which has got a form we are able to see. So that is the first understanding what is Sthulam. So basically means the physical body. Now we need to analyze the physical body, but not like we do in science. In science we understand the body more by what are the parts, like you have different parts of the body, and then medically they cut open and see the inside of the body. If you are a medical student, you analyze the body in a particular way. Here we are not going to look at that, because that is already available for our understanding, which can be, that Shastra doesn't need to explain each and everything. But Shastra will tell you something which the modern science will not be able to tell you regarding the body. Now what is this body made up of? There are two causes. One is the regular cause. Other one is a special cause. The regular causes, the body is made up of 5 elements, as we all know. Space, air, fire, water and earth. In modern science terms, again the body will have many elements. But all these elements are related to the earth. Like if you take the periodic table, you will find so many elements mentioned in that, which we have studied: hydrogen, oxygen, calcium, whatever comes in the periodic table. So the Shastra takes it all as a part of the earth. So the earth element covers all the elements which are available in the earth. The physical body consists of, again, water is a major constituent of the body. In fact, they say 70% of the body is made up of water. Again, in science, water is a compound, but here we look water as an element. So the body gets a form from the earth element. The body has water. The body has heat because there is a temperature. The body has a particular temperature, what we call as a normal temperature. This temperature is maintained even if you are in a very cold place. The temperature doesn't change. Even if you are in a very hot place, the temperature doesn't go up to the outside temperature. So it ensures that there is a temperature maintained, which is the representative of the heat element. Then comes air. So there is air. We are breathing in and out. There is a lot of air movement inside the body. So air is, and finally space. Space is something which cannot be described, but it is there for us to feel. Like we are occupying a space. If you are sitting, we are occupying a space. The body is occupying a space. Inside the body there is space. When there is space only, we can eat and fill the stomach. If there is no space, we cannot eat. So when we fill the stomach only, the space gets filled. Again it empties. So space is represented by something which is obvious, but it is difficult to explain like in the other. Space is there. If a space is, somebody is sitting in a chair, there is no space. If somebody has to sit on the same chair, it has to be vacated by that person to sit. So space, we can see it as occupation and whatever is free. So these are the 5 elements that make up the body. And this is the case with all bodies, whether you are a human being or any number of, whether you are a man or a woman or any of the other animals or birds or anything, all are made up of this 5 elements. Then what is the difference between these bodies? So the second cause is the special cause. So that is what the verse says. If we read the actual meaning of the verse, the body that is made up of the 5 grossified elements, which is born due to good actions, which is the abode of enjoyment of happiness, sorrow, etc., which is endowed with 6 modifications, like is born, grows, undergoes modification, decays and dies. That is the gross body. So this is what is defined in the text. So like I said, there are 2 causes. One is the samanya karanam, which is the normal cause, which is made up of the 5 elements. The special cause is dictated. So now all houses are built, we can say, with bricks and steel and cement and so what differentiates one house from another? They all don't look alike, though the material is the same. They are built to different plans. So somebody has a 1-room house, somebody has a 3-bedroom house, somebody has got 1 floor, somebody has got 2 floors. A multi-storied building has got many floors. There are so many multi-storied buildings, each of them look different. The outward look is different. The paint colors are different. So many differences in, though the basic material remains the same. It is the brick or the steel and the cement and the plastic or whatever goes into the building. So what is the special cause for this body? The special cause is your karma. So earlier we had understood the law of karma. So what it says is, you get this body because of good karma. Again, specifically, the good karma that you have accumulated over many janmas gives you this physical body. Now, among these bodies also, there is a lot of difference. You can see the size of the body varies. Somebody is thin, somebody is fat. The appearance varies. Some people have fair skin, some people have dark skin. So many different varieties of bodies. So how do you explain all this? It's all because of your karma. So you have inherited a body based on your past actions. We can say some children are born with some serious diseases, Down syndrome, or some are born with physical and mental disabilities. How does this happen? So it is just an effect of the past karma. You cannot explain in any other way, because everybody is born the same. The physical body is of the same material, but even in a set of twins, you will find there's a vast difference. And to that extent, even the parents to whom you are born to is also because of your past karma, whether they are good to you or bad to you. So nobody can blame anything else for your present status, whether you have a beautiful body or an ugly body or a fat body or a thin body. All this is related to your own actions in the past millions of lives. But at this moment, this body is available to you. So accept this body as a gift, because they say getting a human body itself is a grace of God. It is related to your past karma and the grace of God. So utilize this body to understand yourself. So ultimately it says, only as a human being you are in a position to gain this knowledge. You cannot expect a dog, you make a dog sit and explain this to him. The dog will, if it is an obedient dog, it may sit for some time, then it will run away. But I have heard of certain animals who, they come and sit in such classes. In fact, in Rishikesh, I have seen when Swami Dayananda was taking class, there was a monkey who came into the hall and sat for some time. Maybe he had some past connections. Maybe that person was born as a monkey due to various reasons. So these are some examples that yes, the animals also, maybe they cannot express, but they are able to understand, because maybe somewhere in the past they would have had the access to this knowledge, and their karma again did not give them a human body to understand this. So they can again, when the next turn comes to get a human body, they can make use of it. So that is why, having got a human body, let us make use of it. We all pray for a long life, but what is the purpose of a long life? Because again, the body is only a temporary abode. It is given to you at this moment. Like we shift houses, when we travel to different places, we keep shifting houses. Like Sri Ram has been traveling to different places. He has stayed in Bodah, now he is in Chennai, he is from Tirunelveli, so he has been shifting. I have been to so many places, Jayanti also would have been. So all of us have shifted from place to place. But so also the body at this moment, it is a tenant in this particular, we are a tenant in this body. This is only a temporary abode. Like Swami Chinmayananda, whose humor is very well known, used to say, this body is given to you, you have to pay 3 times rent in a day. If you don't pay rent, you will be questioned at each time if you don't pay the rent. And that doesn't mean you can stay in that house. It depends on the owner. With all the rent that you pay also, one fine morning the owner can just kick you and say, get out. And then this body cannot be used by anybody else. So once you are kicked out of this body, the body has to be disposed of. Otherwise it will become difficult for others to be there. So that is the Then the next one is the nature of the body. It goes through modifications. Like it starts with in the womb of the mother. It starts there. So that is the first stage of the body. Then when the body, you're born, it comes to the next stage. Then it grows. The third stage, the body grows. It grows to the age of 20. Then, say between 20 and 40, it stabilizes. It neither grows nor diminishes. Then, the next stage is where it starts becoming weak. So after, say 40 or 50, it starts becoming weak. And then, at a particular time, it is ready to be disposed of. So these are the various stages the body goes through. So this is again, from all this we know that the body is only mithya. That is what it is coming to say. It is not true. So it is always changing. Something which is always changing cannot be true. So again we will be learning later. The Atma is never changing. Everything else changes. So whatever we perceive is changing. Only you are not changing. But the concept of I is what we need to understand. If you think you are the body, then you are finished. Because there are a lot of people who think life ends with body. So once you are dead, that's all. It's over. In fact, I met a doctor couple in Rishikesh in one of Swami Dayananda's camps. So he said he's not interested in knowledge. He wants to listen to Swami Dayananda because he likes the way he talks, the joke he cracks, and he feels good. But he is not interested to know more about this. He says, after all, once you are dead, that's all. You cease to exist. So the body is the only thing. As long as the body is there, you are there. After that, you don't exist. So this is what most of us may feel, because we don't understand more about ourselves because nobody has taught us. So that is what we are trying to understand now. So the body is caused by, one is the material cause and one is the special cause because of your karma. You get a specific body. The body is a temporary abode. Use it as long as you are there. You have to take care of the body. Like I said, you have to give the rent 3 times a day. You have to take care of it. Otherwise, you cannot live in the body. So take care of it. But it is not that you are only taking care of the body. Because again, you can be kicked out of this body any moment. And you also know that as you grow older, the body is not going to cooperate. The body becomes a burden, and not only to you, to others also. So if you live very long, people will say, oh, I don't know when this guy is going to go away. And you will also feel so miserable because you can say, okay, you have everything, but it will not help if the body is not able to cooperate. And again, it's a instrument to enjoy as well as suffer. So, sukha dukkha, that is what the text also says. Enjoy as well as to suffer. And both things can happen at the same time. For example, if you say you have 2 children and one is doing the 12th standard, other one is the 10th standard, the first child gets 99%, you are happy. The second child gets 50%. So both results come at the same time. So will you be happy or sad? Both emotions are there in you. One side you are very happy for the first child, other side very sad for the. So this is what the body is made to enjoy. The enjoy and suffer again for your karmas. So whatever we are enjoying is again, because that we never ask the question, why am I enjoying all this? But when we are suffering, we always say, oh, why I am suffering like this. God is not so kind to me. But when we enjoy so many things, only the negative things always are there in our mind. They remain in our mind. We forget all the good things that happen to us because we take it for granted. But one negative thing comes that stays in our mind. One particular incident, it stays in our mind forever. So the body is only an instrument again given to enjoy or suffer our own actions. But again, coming back to the purpose of this body is to understand the self, or to get that permanent solutions, or to attain moksha, as we had gone through earlier, where you get freedom from all the unhappiness and the insecurity that you have at various points in your life. A permanent solution is only freedom from all the activities.
Liberation. We call it as liberation.
Yeah, we can call it as a liberation. Liberation from further bodies. So we have to decide whether we, again, having understood the functions of this body and the plus and minuses, it is our choice whether we want to again come back, because again the best body is a human body. Definitely we wouldn't like to be born as a dog or a whatever be at particular times you feel, oh, dog is the most loyal thing, I would like to be born as a dog. Especially dogs in rich houses, they are more pampered than probably children. They have special rooms, they have special car to carry them. So sometimes some people say, oh, I wish I was born like the dog of maybe Ambani or whoever has such dogs. But ultimately, as a body, if we have to choose, the best body is the human body, because we can actually understand even when you are enjoying, you understand that you are enjoying, because the mind can be used, unlike a animal body. So even among the bodies, ladies will say, I wish I had a man's body. The man will say, I wish I had a lady's body. So again, it is a karma. So whatever body you get, among that also there is difference in various things, including the gender. So even that is dictated by the karma. So that is what the Sthula Shariram is all about. Unlike modern science, we look at the body as a medium to carry bloods, and it is made up of bones and so many other things. There's different parts, the liver, the kidneys, the heart, and all those things. Those are all there. They are all given. It's put in a very intelligent way by whoever has made it. You cannot replicate this. However, modern science can advance. The way it has been put together and the way it functions without any kind of this thing is amazing. But ultimately what it says is, it is only a impermanent thing. So don't depend on the body, because it is not the truth. So the truth is only Atma. So first, the body is negated. Body is not the Atma. That is what we have understood from knowing the body. So this much about the body we know, that yes, the next body will be taken up, which is the Sukshma Sharira, the subtle body, which we will understand in the next class.